This is much ado about nothing. I'm not worried about Caitlan Clark at all. I don't give a damn if she if she doesn't have a great season. First of all, the Indiana Fever ain't that good. Let's get that out the way. At least when you compare them to the upper echelon of the WNBA. Let's just get that out the way. We want to act like, they're all this. They're not. To the Indiana Fever, you're not. You're just not. That's number one. Number two, okay, like you said, Connecticut Sun, an elite defense. Well, when you look at the WNBA, okay, there were two teams that were dubbed essentially super teams last year. One of them was the New York Liberty. So you're going up against the creme de la creme. That's number two. Number three, expect Saturday to be no better. She going up against them again. She getting ready to go up against them again, okay? So that's another butt whipping coming, okay? And this time, it's going to be in New York as opposed to in Indiana. Then you brought up how, okay, she had 10 turnovers the first game. She only had 3 last night, ladies and gentlemen. You want to bring that up, okay? I told you it wasn't going to be every game she turning the ball over 10 times, all right? You're going to make shots. You're going to miss shots. You're trying to ingratiate yourself into a new league. It's the number 1 league in the world for women's basketball. She's new to the party. It's the first time she scored only single digits since her freshman year in college. We understand it's going to be some rough patches along the way. What you have to ask yourself is, A, do shooters lose their shot? Chances are no. When you can shoot, you can shoot. And eventually you'll be just fine. You just got to figure everything else out. It would be helpful if she was on a better team. It would be helpful if that team was on that level. They're not. And as a result, you get to really lock in on her. Plus, she's an iconic star. Everybody's coming for her. She had the long collegiate season. Don't even get me started, Eminem, with the commercials, the endorsement deals, the obligations that came along with all of that without any kind of reprieve whatsoever. If the men can whine and moan about those obligations and the weight that it puts on their shoulders and how it could potentially serve to compromise them, how come can a lady fresh out of college? I would think we should be able to understand that. In the end, Caitlan Clark will be just fine.
Caitlan Clark is a great player, kind of a dickhead.
100%.
Angel Reese is a great player.
Huge dickhead.
Kind of a dickhead.
Huge dickhead.
One's white, one's black. Don't give a shit about that. They're both kind of dickheads. What puts it over the top for me is Kim Mulkey sucks.
Does she? I don't like her
LSU
sweaters.
Coach, she's awful. She's the most look at me coach ever. If she can lose tonight, I am for that. But Iowa people are the worst fans imaginable, and I fucking hate them all. So I hope they both lose.
Caitlan Clark has struggled her first 2 games in WNBA. The league has been criticized for giving her such a tough start to her career, and they're saying you have to ease her in so she looks great because she's the face of the league. My counterpoint to that is you either have it or you don't. It's just been 2 games, so there's no need to overreact. And while people are more drawn to the WNBA because of Caitlan Clark, nobody's denying she's a superstar. The WNBA is not about Caitlan Clark. The WNBA is about all the talented players they have playing in the league. And this league shouldn't be made just about Caitlan Clark. First 2 games, you're facing Connecticut and the New York Liberty. The New York Liberty have Breanna Stewart, the league MVP, correct, and Sabrina, an all-star. Caitlan Clark is going to bring eyeballs to 2 talented players like them, and the Liberty are one of the best teams in the league. You want that if you're the WNBA, because this is not, like I said, about Caitlan Clark. It's about exposing everybody else to the league and what the talent has to offer. If Caitlan Clark is that special, she will rise above the adversity and become a better player because of it. This all comes back to what Diana Taurasi said about her. She said reality is coming. She's a vet, an all-time WNBA player, and while everybody disrespected her, she was right. While Caitlan Clark is the most marketable star the WNBA has probably ever had in its history, she still has to earn that right to be that star. She will not be given it. She has to prove it. And that's what her career is all about. I have disliked that so many people have made the WNBA now strictly about Caitlan Clark, and it shouldn't be.
Good Sunday morning. It's your brother Van Silk. Everybody have a blessed Sunday. Yeah, the wind is blowing. winds of changes. Today's going to be the day the New York Knicks got to get to the Eastern Conference Final. You got to win this game. Speaking on behalf of Rock Bottom Sports, I made a video the other day, but I deleted it because it's going to be irrelevant to what I'm going to talk about. And I don't want y'all to think I'm coming off as a person of race or hate. But the NBA got to do a better job in promoting the league. Stop promoting Caitlan Clark like she is the great white hope, like she's going to change the NBA. It just so happened that you racist fans made this what it is today. Nobody was paying attention to not this season, last season, because the games were not packed, okay? Everything changed when they played South Carolina and South Carolina lost to them in the Final Four. And it became a thing of notoriety when Dawn Staley talked about how the press is acting like I was the only team in the finals. Problem is, Caitlan Clark was averaging 40 shots a game in Iowa. She's not going to average 40 shots a game in the WNBA because this is where there's so many available spots to play in the WNBA. There's only 12 teams, 12 players on each team. There's been players that last season from college went to the WNBA and got cut. The only reason I changed this video is because now the Indiana Fever is 0-3. So that means Caitlan Clark has lost 2 finals. You lost to LSU, Angel Reese and her team, and you lost to Dawn Staley, South Carolina. And you're losing to the Fever. You're not going to win no more than 3 or 4 games this year. Here's the problem. The Indiana Fever wasn't thinking about getting the best overall player. The number 1 pick went to the worst team in the WNBA, or one of the worst. Now, if you'd have got a play that could have helped y'all, brought some length, because it ain't like none of these girls can't shoot in the WNBA. It's just that the fact y'all trying to make it like it seems like it's just only about Caitlan Clark. I'm tired of seeing posts about her. I'm tired of all you podcasters where Colin, this dude said the NBA should have made the schedule easier for Caitlan Clark. Listen, you in the WNBA. Why is the schedule should be easier? Now you gotta play Connecticut. How you gonna beat Connecticut? Well, you gotta play in Connecticut. The Liberties done beat you twice. Seems like the Liberty was taking it easy yesterday because they know you can't beat them. Caitlan Clark don't play defense. Yeah, she had 22 points. Yeah, some of it was garbage time. Yeah, she had 8 rebounds and 8 assists and 5, 6 turnovers. Y'all didn't mention the game where she had 9 points. And y'all didn't mention the game where she had 10 turnovers. 10 turnovers is 30 points or 20 points. Okay, stop trying to blame the players. She make a bounce pass and they don't catch it. Everybody make bounce pass in any league, and sometimes they don't catch it. Don't blame the coach. Caitlan Clark is an average player in the WNBA. Yes, she can shoot, but she's still an average player. She's not a superstar. She's a rookie. She have to understand that you're going to get hit with them blocks. You're going to get hit when the players running around and they just set up to where their offensive play can get away. That's just the nature of the game. Yeah, you got them points on the weaker defender, but the defender defending you most of the game wasn't letting you get nothing. And I'm not picking on Caitlan Clark, but I'm just looking at all the other players in the WNBA who are just as good as her or even better than her. Okay? The whole Charlotte flight thing was something that the commissioners said that the WNBA was working on for 4 years. Just eventually just happened in the year where they all became in the WNBA. You got Asia Wilson and Angel Reese and all these girls. These girls are real ballers. And I ain't saying Reese ain't a baller, but she could have been picked 5th or 6th and ended up on a better team. But no, the Indiana Fever was greedy. It was looking at the almighty dollar. You know, when you start losing games, fans are going to start disappearing. And I look at all these fans that came to the Liberty game. Number one, most of them came to see the Liberty beat Caitlan Clark because y'all making her like she's God sent to the WNBA. What's going to happen when she's 0-5 and 0-7? What y'all going to do then? Y'all need to be promoting the other girls just as well, putting their games on TV, okay, and stop making a mockery of this, because all you're doing is putting the pressure on Caitlan Clark, where you got a lot of these players out here who are real ballers. They're dogs. And they're not going to let her. You're going to get fouled, just like everybody else. You're going to get crumped up, okay? You're going to get folded. And all I can say is, y'all can say what you want to say. But the WNBA is looking for a big downfall when the Fever is probably 0-7. Can't fire the coach. It's the players. They don't play defense. And then you got real good players. These women in the WNBA are fighting for a spot. They're not trying to lose their job. There's a big difference in college. Where you on a team in college, you're not going to get cut. WNBA, you're going to get cut. Okay? So y'all keep playing the Caitlan Clark card like she's the God sent to the WNBA, because she's not. And for all you racist fans out here who feel that she is the only white girl in the WNBA, you better take another look at the Liberties. You better take a look at some of these real players that's not going to let you just think that you're going to come down the hole and not get fouled. Okay? Garbage time don't mean nothing. Okay? It's when you win a game. Caitlan Clark had not won any games since college. They lost to South Carolina. That's when you're supposed to show up big time. Just like against LSU. You didn't show up. Scoring 40 points. See, the fans, yo, she scored 30 points. Yeah, okay. But y'all never talk about her defense, because she has no defense. She can't guard nobody in WNBA, for real, for real. Like, you can't guard none of the top players. You know, y'all gonna say, oh, he just picking on Caitlan Clark. No, I'm not. I'm just saying, it's your fans, it's your racist fans who's making it that way. None of y'all was paying attention to the whole situation until Angel Reese gave her the Flavor Flav 5 fingers of death. But Caitlan Clark did the same thing, and y'all didn't say nothing about it. At the end of the day, this is the WNBA. This is not college basketball. And in order to survive, it's the survival of the fittest. Now, I ain't gonna say that Caitlan Clark ain't never gonna develop to be a good player in the next 2 or 3 years in the WNBA. But she's not gonna become a leading scorer or whatever. You might even get traded, because the Fever's gonna end up saying the Fever's gonna start losing fans because y'all not winning. You gotta win the game. Now, if y'all can't win the game tomorrow, y'all gonna be 0-4. With how many games left? Nobody's expecting y'all to even make the playoffs. That's how bad that team is. So they should have went and got a better player, an all-around player. But they just wanted to draft her to get them early ticket sales, marketing, and everything instead of getting the player. Angel Reese could have went number 1. Angel Reese would have made the Indiana Fever a better team. She'd have made a better team. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. And I can guarantee you, all these so-called Caitlan Clark fans, I'm going to give it another 3 weeks. and they're gonna be gone. Because they just finding all kind of excuse. Cohart, you had no business talking about they should have gave her an easy schedule, her team an easy schedule. WNBA didn't even know that if the Indiana Sky was going to draft her or not. But see, stupidity reigns above in those in high places. They do stupid shit. She had no business going first. She should have went 6th or 7th and ended up on a better team. Okay? But greed is the name of the game. They didn't get Caitlan Clark because they knew she was going to help them win. They got her because they knew they could sell some tickets in the early beginning. Because once you ain't winning, the fans is not going to be watching no more, and the people going to stop going to the game. Because in the world we live in, they want to be around winners. And at this point right now, she's definitely a loser. This is Van Silk, Rock Bottom Sports. My opinion. If you don't like it, you can kiss my ass. Y'all have a blessed day.